Hey guys, so today we're coming from my garden, which is quite a lot of fun because it's actually sunny today, so it's really nice just to be able to sit outside, especially when it's not that cold. It's quite amazing how I actually realise how much noise there is on the road that's like next to my house when I actually try and film. So I'm really sorry about all the background noise, but I just thought I'd come outside for today. So today I think the main thing I actually wanted to talk about was the fact that I volunteer at my local hospital, and today was slightly different, I think, and that was because I met a lady who was doing something which was a bit different to what I've seen other people do who are in hospital. But it's really interesting to see, obviously everyone is different and everyone reacts to being in hospital in different ways. So this lady, when she was in critical care, the nurses told her to write down the list of every single person that she meets in hospital, and that was really interesting because she was talking about how it gives her and her husband something to talk about. And I found that really interesting because obviously it can be quite different when you're the person who's in hospital, and obviously it's not quite the same. Obviously the experience of actually being in hospital and being a relative is quite different. But she was literally the nicest person I think I've met during all the 2 months that I've been volunteering. And she remembered my name first time, and I was like, most people find it quite hard to remember my name. And she was like, no, it's quite easy. And it was just really, it's just amazing how it's so much easier to do like kind things for people who are also kind to you. Like, I think that's almost a given, but it feels so good to know that you're making a difference. Another lady last week who'd been in hospital by that time for maybe like 2 to 3 weeks, so I sort of seen her every week, but I never really had much interaction with her because my main role was to offer her breakfast. But because she'd been ill by mouth for the past few weeks, like, I hadn't really had much to really talk to her about, if you know what I mean. Not necessarily that there was nothing interesting about her, but because she was ill enough that she had to have an operation, that she couldn't really talk to anyone. But last week I found out that, that day when I was there was the day she was leaving, and she was like, she actually told me when I saw her, it's really nice to see you today. Like, it's just, yeah, and that just blew my mind, I guess. Actually being someone in the background who doesn't really do a lot of the clinical stuff, I don't really do clinical stuff at all, it doesn't always feel like I have an impact because I interact not that much with patients unless like I actually end up having a conversation with them. Doing that just by being there and just being able to smile and just say hello, that I can make a difference, made me feel really good, especially for people who are in a position where necessarily at their best. It's really nice to be able to feel like you're there for someone in not necessarily the most personal way, but still. Being a volunteer, a very, very fulfilling experience, I think, because you don't always see, you can't really blame people for being quite selfish when they're ill, but yeah, it's just really nice to feel like I'm actually making a difference. Volunteering, I met a man who could be barely understood by everyone else because his tongue was paralysed. And it was really nice knowing I could be the one who had the time to put in the effort to actually understand him and not make him feel so alienated. I think if you guys ever have the opportunity to even just visit someone in hospital or volunteer in hospital, anywhere really, it's just so nice knowing that you're doing something to help someone else. Have you guys done any volunteering before, and how did you find the experience? I hope you're having a wonderful time doing what you're doing, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Also guys, I happen to have a chocolate donut with me, and it was a donut that me and my friends bought when we were on the trip yesterday. But the reason why I'm eating it today is because some of my friends stayed in London when everyone else was going home. So one of my friends ended up with all the donuts, and the rest of us were on the train like, no, we don't have the donuts. But apparently these are really good. But according to my history teacher, who I've just seen, he prefers custard, so apparently I'm to give him a review on this donut tomorrow. So maybe I'll give you a review as well, because I've tried pretty much all the donuts that we have here. So it's normally either a plain one, or a jam one, or a custard one, or as this one is, a chocolate custard one. So it should be interesting.